Oh, hey, how's it going? Happy Friday. Thanks for starting your weekend off right with Nerdy by Nature. While you're listening, feel free to crack open a craft beer. Sit back, relax, have some fun. Did you hear about our website? LetUsGetNerdy.com. There's show notes, fun facts, links, visuals, everything you need from today's show so you too can enjoy the episode. In case you missed anything, it's all there. All of your senses will be happy again. While you're there, feel free to subscribe via the web, Android, or iOS, whichever your heart desires. Feel free to continue the conversation on social media. After the show, beginning, whatever, hashtag, have some fun. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Search us up. Let us get nerdy. It's that simple. All right, we stretched our thumbs, got our controllers and dice ready, got our beakers out. Let's get to it.
Yo, this is dirty.
Welcome, Nerdy by Nature here with you. As you very well know, thanks for joining us. If it's your first time, that's okay. We'll take it easy on you. Patreon.com/nerdybynature is a cool place to be. Not as great as your backyard pool in the summertime, but feels just as good. If you're not familiar, it's like a tip jar donation, a way of giving back for all the cool stuff that you hear and all the research we put into every episode. And most importantly, trying our best to work towards to get a professional studio space. Looking about $150 a month, so that's one of our goals you can certainly help with. $1 a month, the reward is behind the scenes. Basically, what you'll do for $1 a month is get a reward to get the episodes 24 hours early or more, which is pretty cool. VIP access, pretty cheap. $3 a month, you get pictures behind the scenes, good stuff like that. $5, shout out something cool about you, and of course Twitter or whatever social media you want to connect with. $10 a month, digital thank you package sent right to all the episodes, signed picture of your nerdy friends at Nerdy by Nature, and more. $20 a month, be on our show, we'll pick an episode, it'll be a good time. Not bad rewards, pretty good deal. Thought those through more so than Chris thought about his cat shirts. Pretty proud of that. Chris, here you are, Nirvana Kitty.
Nirvana Kitty, yeah.
You're getting some comments. Forked River, like we said, Jamie and Chris or Harv comes over. It compliments all around. Your cat shirt game is stronger by the episode.
Excellent.
2 a day. It's a good time. People fear doing things they love just for the sake of doing it. You're one who doesn't really care what people think. You'd be proud of this. They suit you well.
Thanks, man.
Twitter says you should do it. The poll, I thought that it would be ridiculous and awful, but Twitter said go for it, so you got 2 a day. Now you don't have to shower every time you change your shirt. It's good.
Yeah, they're all in the basket right now.
Yeah. The cats don't like to be wrinkled.
No.
It's good.
No.
Nathan's here as well. Thanks for hanging out, talking about some good stuff tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Go Jays.
Well, actually, they're on a bit of a winning streak finally. So, yeah, go
It'll
Jays.
be in the past when we talk about it, but I guess there's some sort of streak they're going on.
Yeah, and I'll hope by the time this airs, they're still on a streak.
No kidding. There's some sort of walk that they're doing all 4 bases, I guess. Two games in a row. I guess that's a franchise record. I'm pretending to know the sports right now, hopping on the bandwagon. Yeah. And then they had a grand slam, and I don't know if that was in Carcino or that was Batista bat thrower. If he's still on the team, I don't know. This is awful.
All right, abort.
Sports later.
Bail.
Yeah. Go Jays. I'm trying. If you're a Jays fan and I failed miserably, tell us on Twitter, because then we can tell everybody how cool the Blue Jays are in Canada. Thank you. And get it right, of course. You can always call us out on Twitter. Don't worry. Transformer Friend did. He's a great guy in London, Ontario, where we are, between Toronto and Detroit. He called us out on the Transformer knowledge. Chris. And it's hard to beat at his super professional, dedicated. He's museum level Transformer fan.
He eats and sleeps Transformers, does he?
And then some. Everything. And we were just having fun in the previous episode with toys and collecting and trying our best, but it's small detail. Can't win them all.
So are we going to print a retraction or say a retraction or
no?
Okay, we're just acknowledging.
I said we're not perfect.
Okay.
You're our Transformer hero. Thanks for caring about what we say on the episode. That's all I could ask for.
So we will admit we were wrong. We won't necessarily say what we were wrong about, but we will also acknowledge you if you correct us on Twitter. So feel free to shoot us a message if anything in this show or any other show is not up to the standard of care.
Not here to argue about it by any means. Certainly respect people's opinions, and if you're right, please. Like, there's a lot of research goes into this stuff, so you can't get it all. No. Try, and it gets people to think and explore and get into the research a little more. And that's all we can ask for.
So what did we research tonight?
Tesla.
Tesla.
Not the car.
Oh, not Elon Musk.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, Tesla was an inventor. He was a pretty good one.
Nikola Tesla.
Right. He doesn't get all the credit that Edison does or other guys do, but Tesla, certainly the, let's say, smartest inventor of his time, around the 1900s, we'll say, just for rounding up sake. And then, other things that he did. Chris, you did a ton of research, but most importantly, I've learned that alternating current that he did?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's the alternating current is electricity that happens in waveforms, as far as I understand.
Yes, in wave. And
Right.
the same kind of voltage kind of current thing coming in houses and businesses and that kind of thing.
Right.
Good
So
for
it's not-
long distance transmission.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not always direct and straight, but and true, but it's good for longevity. So from the Bruce power plant, for example, all the way to your house, you couldn't do that on DC power.
No, there's too much loss in the lines.
So what DC is what a plug from your wall to your phone, something like that.
I think it's like 5 miles or 10 miles or something.
So
was
a lot
like
of
the
plugs to your
max.
phone. 5
Yeah.
miles is not a lot.
Yeah, the DC could go.
But in your home, sorry to jump in here, but for example, we're surrounded by science and technology. From the outlet, you've got alternating current going to your outlets. And then with, like, for my laptop, for example, there's that big power brick. And what that brick is doing is that's converting it from alternating current to direct current for the laptop itself. So it's alternating current, hits the brick, gets switched over to direct current into my machine.
Right. You get the stuff that's ran very far. The fair? Sure.
Yeah.
That's a good visual.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Exercise. Screw you both. Got
Yeah.
it. So he's done a few things. Chris, you got a few inventions lined up for Tesla. You did some homework.
Oh, yes.
Put us to shame.
I mean, there was the war of currents, which was like against Edison with DC and AC. So he won that one.
Right.
He showed them that he could generate AC at a power station, which became the one in Niagara Falls.
Right. He went there just to prove that he could do it.
How he won the contract to do that was actually the World's Fair, where he showcased basically AC power, lit all of the place up with light for half the amount that was bid by Edison and his electric company.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, Edison had all the DC power.
He had all the
patents, as
DC, yeah.
So that's where the war came in, and they were trying to fight it out. And all the stuff that we'll get into in a bit about how Edison tried to trample on all of Tesla's plans.
Pretty much, yeah.
Douchebaggery that he had. And a lot of people... Wikipedia. Come on, man.
I don't know if that's in a peer-reviewed article, douchebaggery, but I guess that word is in the dictionary now. So
sadly, yes,
I
but
guess
it's a great visual if you're stuck on the vocab and the smart words.
So I don't know. I kind of prefer starting from the top here. So
What you got?
Tesla was born in, what was it, 1856? Is that right?
That sounds pretty close.
Yes,
Okay.
1856.
So he was born in
Serbia. Yeah.
Cool.
So go Serbia. So he's probably one of the most famous people to come out of Serbia. So that's pretty
safe
impressive.
bet without fact checking that.
He was also. How many more great people do you know off the top of your head?
Trump?
That's my. Oh, okay. I don't think
Too
Trump's
much?
from Serbia.
Well, it might as
Just
well
his
be now.
wives,
Yeah.
one of them, maybe.
Yeah, right.
But all right.
had to.
Anyways, come on. Let's get back
backtrack.
onto it.
Got it. Thank you.
He was also a very tall and handsome guy for the period. He was well over 6 feet. And
had a
he
lot of
studied
willpower.
engineering, but then he kind of fell in love with electricity and was thinking of, because DC had been invented and DC and motors and everything like that. But he was thinking of a better way to transmit energy. And they say he kind of had a vision, and when he was out on a walk one day, and that's kind of how he visualized the alternating current motor. And
Yeah.
so very interesting guy. And so he comes over to America because he wants to work with Edison. And Edison's like, sure, kid, I'll give you a job. Here, dig some ditches. And
Yeah, that was
so
pretty
you've got
much
one
it.
of the smartest guys in the world at the time digging ditches.
Yeah.
And he kept trying to, push alternating current with Edison. But Edison was like, no, I don't got time for your stupid idea. Direct current's where it's at, man. And a lot of direct current companies were springing up around that time because electricity was starting to spread around and everything, and so there was a big market for it, and it was seemed to be a big boom. So Nikola Tesla finally got fed up with Edison, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go and work for Westinghouse because they're going to actually try this alternating current stuff. And as soon as he did that, then not just Edison, but some other direct current guys got really mad, and they tried to discredit alternating current by saying it was more dangerous. And one of the ways they proved that it was more dangerous is they would hold public, basically executions of animals. They would round up dogs,
Yeah, the
cows,
elephant
cats,
and-
whatever. And
Yeah.
they would electrocute them with alternating current. And they also, in a perverse method of reverse psychology, I guess you could say, they really pushed for alternating current to be adopted for the new electric chair, because they figured if they could prove that it was deadly enough to kill criminals, then it would have a bad association with people's minds. They would be like, I don't want this thing that can kill murderers in my house.
Right.
It's not safe for me. And so it's just kind of weird. And so there was a lot of a big PR battle. But yeah, like Chris was saying, it was the World's Fair in Chicago in 1893 that really gave them the chance to show everybody
Showcase.
it's safe, it's cheap, it's the power of the future.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, they took just almost like you would take a battery with the negative and the positive and those cables and just stifle them right on the butt and the nose. Literally, like you're eating corn on the animals. It was gross. They just char and burn and off they go. Edison.
I don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, no,
Light
that's
bulb inventor.
going on
morbid.
Twitter right there. Like eating
awful.
corn.
That's what he treated it as. That's humane. Now there's organizations that lobby against that.
Yeah, the PETA would not be happy with Edison back in the
folks would be awful.
1870s or 80s or whenever that was.
No,
Not
way.
at all. So that wasn't the in the World's Fair. He didn't. That
No, but what had happened was Lord Calvin had approached him and basically talked to him about AC power generation,
right.
and gave him a contract to build the facility in Niagara Falls.
And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah. So it was between Tesla and Westinghouse Electric, which is what he had worked for at that time, which put in the installation. And they had, I think at the time, 5,000 horsepower generators hooked up to the falls. So the falls would come down, it would turn a turbine that would in turn turn the generator, and then it would start producing electricity.
And
Like, this is just nuts.
lit up the whole city, Niagara Falls.
I believe it lit up Rochester, if I recall.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they're from
Yeah.
New York. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he went on to doing things like kind of bouncing around, but the New York Tower. He was actually sponsored by someone to do the New York Tower until he realized that the tower would give off free energy. And he said, no way. If I can't patent this or I can't make money off of it, it's getting shut down.
I think he had problems trying to prove that it worked. One of the experiments he tried for the first time ended up darkening the city
that
and
doesn't help.
catching buildings on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, yeah, because he's basically playing with some sort of like localized lightning machine, basically, right?
Okay.
So,
Just to
yeah,
harness lightning to make power.
yeah, he pulled the ions and all that from the air, right? And then somehow it, just how lightning works, it spread.
Half the time, Tesla just dreamt up these ideas in his head.
Yeah.
He took a plan, photographic memory just in there in his noggin somewhere, and
Yeah.
then poof, It's done.
He
didn't
was a
have to-
true visionary. I mean, his whole concept of energy transmission and the use of high frequency is the groundwork to radio.
Yes.
Which brings us to our next point.
the
Who
wireless
actually
technology.
who created the radio?
Well, it's supposed to be Marconi. He got credit for it in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is everyone thinks it was Marconi, but it was definitely Tesla, because everyone talks about how Tesla was, just passionate about being creative and, things like the free energy and stuff like that. He wasn't, obsessed with necessarily monetizing and, being a good businessman, because there's also the story about how Edison hired him to fix his DC generators and he offered him $1 million if he could do it.
Nice.
And Tesla did it, and then Edison just laughed and was like, "No, I'm not giving you $1 million, idiot."
Yeah.
And so,
Snubbed.
towards the end of his life, he did contest and file a lawsuit against all of Marconi's patents on radio, because he was basically saying, "I did it first," and so all these patents are invalid. And then he died when he was like 86 or something like that. And shortly after his death, the U.S. Patent Office overturned all of Marconi's patents. So they ruled in Tesla's favor, basically, posthumously, that Marconi was taking credit for Tesla's work.
But he still goes down in history books.
Well, because Marconi was also the guy that actually, it's one thing if you have an idea, and it's another thing if you actually do the idea, right? Like Marconi was the guy that set up the first transmission towers, in
to be fair,
Canada and England, and sent that message across the Atlantic and stuff like that. So he actually, practically put a purpose to the idea, but still, you can't really patent something you didn't create. You can maybe. What they do these days is, they just try and patent like a variation, but like a general kind of bigger development like radio, they're like, nope.
See, his patent didn't exist in Britain, and it existed in the U.S.
Gotcha.
So after Marconi came to the U.S. with his radio company, tried to file the patent, they said it was too close.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Go figure.
And I saw a photo of the diagrams for that, and they are very, very close.
Just wonder if Marconi just kind of got lucky, or somebody kind of just shared the information somehow, maybe.
Well, Tesla actually went out to Britain to do talks on the wireless transmission at the university.
So he got some ideas.
Right, exactly.
And then he said, well, we can do this.
Right.
Let's put a team of $bazillion dollars together.
But that's how it works, though. It
Right.
always starts with an idea, and it was a follow-through that Marconi did, and Tesla didn't.
Right. So Tesla has the idea. Marconi implements the idea.
Right.
Together, maybe they should share some credit, but it doesn't always
They
work
should
that way.
have, yeah. Yeah, they should have. And he acknowledged this throughout that time period. He knew that Marconi was using his patents.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Tesla, died pretty much broke. So I think part of it was, trying to make sure he got credit for what was his, but also part of it might have been just trying to, get some money for his lifetime of work.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or at
like-
least something to go with pride. Say at the last few years, this is what I've accomplished. This is what people recognize me for. Now I can die a happy man.
He
Who knows?
he lived in a hotel room in New York
With
for
pigeons.
like years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, and this is what happens to this great man that created AC. Like, come on.
Sadly, yes. That's
Yeah.
kind of the way the business world works. Corporations, etc. That's the greed gets the better good, and you don't realize what the bigger picture is. Just want the bottom line to happen, and off you go.
Yeah, but you can also make a side kind of argument here that maybe some of these greatest minds are so great because their mind is working differently than everybody else's, because they've got, some mental health issues or other things that might not have been necessarily diagnosed or treated at the time, but it kind of made them think or view things in a way that other people didn't. And so that's why they come up with these big breakthroughs or these great ideas.
Right.
Because, we all see a pigeon and he saw, a magnificent thing giving light from its eyes, right?
And wanted to marry it.
I don't know about marrying it, but he definitely was in love with one of the pigeons.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, if you not necessarily always crazy, but 8 languages he knew, including his native language, and as well a photographic memory, shows well when he doesn't even have to write a single plan down, executes it with perfection,
Yeah.
especially Niagara Falls.
There was definitely a lot of stuff in his head and not a lot on paper. And whatever was on paper was stolen.
Right. And maybe that's why he wanted to keep it in his head, keep the ideas safe.
That's possible, yeah.
It's hard to get in there, for sure. Some other things that happened, transistor, take that for granted in computers and TVs
True.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Did that one, like it was nothing.
The remote control.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Earthquake machine, do you know much about this?
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, we're just
boy.
lucky that Tesla was a good guy, because he definitely could have been Dr. Evil with his doomsday device.
Playing
Oh,
with
that-
tectonic plates and shifting around the Earth a bit?
Was that the use of the high frequency?
Possible.
Because I read about something that happened and all the windows shattered and
That was
everything.
probably it, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Not say.
Yeah.
Just high frequency. So it's more than the lady singing high-pitched notes at the opera. This is like the next best thing.
Yeah, I don't know that it was anything that was audible. I don't know.
No, maybe
but,
to pets or animals like dogs or something.
Yeah.
Not to the human ear.
But it's basically like that whole thought or transmission is like how communications, how it is today, cellular technology.
For sure. You can thank him for all of the lighting in BioShock.
The neon signs. Yes.
So that was kind of his idea. I don't know if it's frequencies, but definitely came up with the idea.
No, it's the whole thing of electrons being excited and then giving off light with the electric force.
Okay.
EMF basically is causing it to light up.
So that's all it is. Just happy little ions dancing around.
And glowing.
Negative and positives, or positives, negatives together. They're having a party.
Yeah.
Poof.
Yeah.
Neon, like the 80s.
We did a thing in school with that too. We had a forget what it was called, but it was a oil lamp with 2 rabbit ears coming out,
Right.
and the bolt of electricity would come across it. Well, the teacher put a fluorescent tube just over top of it, and it lit up.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was still far away, but I guess the ions kind of grabbed each other.
Yeah,
Poof. They're
Yeah.
friends. It's meant to be.
yeah, like this, just amazing
Tried
stuff
that
he
on
came
home?
up with.
You try that at home since?
No,
Chris?
no, but you know what? I did actually make an AC motor, 4 poles, and I had a spinning disc in the center for the contact, and I think it took about 60 volts AC for it to actually start going.
Really?
But there were other people in the class that made theirs spin with less voltage.
You spin faster.
No.
No? Really?
I had it pivoting on a nail.
Okay. Maybe too much friction.
It could be. You have to get the contacts just right when you're dealing with motors. But
sure.
in any case, I mean, it was awesome to actually go and make one of these things and get in the head of how Tesla may have developed his AC motor.
If you have the ability to recreate some of that stuff, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then you throw, with the electric motor, you throw in some Lego, and I mean, you can't get much better than that. It's kids camps now, the STEM camps, the science, tech,
Yeah.
engineering, and math, they do those Lego robots and stuff like that. And the kids in high school, they come around in any robotics, or they're at the London Roundhouse for some open door, as we do in September. The private companies let everybody in to see what's going on. And the robotics team from St. Thomas is kind of half hour south in London here. Some high schools, they're not Lego, but they're electric motors with looks like Xbox controllers, and there's big robots because of Tesla.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's what he should be saying. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. No.
All the stuff that he takes for granted, or we take for granted, is there. And the radar in 1917, Tesla did that.
Yeah.
Sonar, the whole thing. Trying to figure out, little bloops. The
Yeah,
green
the blip,
lights.
blip
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
just frequencies or just cool stuff.
Yeah, he did a lot with frequencies.
Did you, it was that the resonant frequency of the Earth, the high-pitched stuff that you're talking about?
I think that's a version of it. Yeah. I mean, I think the thought behind that was that if all these objects, they all resonate at certain frequencies. And if you could match that, you could then modify it in some way.
Move them around.
Move them around.
Yeah.
I guess in some ways that reminds me of the time crystals that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
crazy, almost like Jello-like time. How do you? This is tough because now I have to figure out what we said.
I know, eh?
This is
We'll have to
complicated.
listen to
It's
that.
almost like four-dimensional energy, where it was Jello-like substance, if
Right.
you will,
Okay.
in
So
energy.
they were using lasers for that to excite
Right.
at that subatomic level, right?
Yes.
Well, this is frequency that's being aimed at the object to excite things.
Neon lights,
No,
just lasers.
no, just sound waves.
Gotcha.
I guess, or some version of that,
Sure.
right? And so I think they were thinking that they could make this into some sort of military weapon.
Yeah, it worked out that way. Submarines and what have you.
Yeah, some years later, I
Stealth
think.
fighters, sure.
Yeah.
It's still used today. And a lot of the stuff that Tesla has, I guess Marconi will give him some credit. I don't want to, but
A
we
little
can.
bit.
Sure. These guys like Edison, Marconi, and Tesla got into, and other guys still used today. And this, 120 years later, still kicking, still making, let's say, smaller versions of transistors, but still the idea and the premise is there. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
I have to think about that for a minute, but yeah, he was in Austria, 1877, did the whole engineering thing, obsessed with electricity in that time. It kind of went from there. I guess it's Michael Faraday discovered induction electromotive force using magnets. That's
Yes.
fun.
Yeah. That
And
was probably his inspiration.
Right. For all of this that he did.
Yeah.
It's like, this is awesome.
Well, yeah, because once you find out that you can induce that using like wire windings and metal core and that kind
Magnets,
of thing,
yeah.
magnets, then that just sets the tone for AC.
Right. So, in I guess kind of a lesson that we learned today is Tesla's a nice guy. Edison's a jerk. And Marconi, he doesn't really care about people.
Wow, that's some broad strokes.
That's
there.
much?
yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, I don't know.
I would say that Tesla is an inventor or a dreamer.
Sure. Maybe
Marconi's an engineer, I guess you could
both.
say.
He did something with the
Better. He
wireless
did, yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it.
so
Check
like
mark.
an engineer. And then good
Edison.
old Edison's just a businessman. You know?
CEO,
Yeah,
if
bought
you
his
will.
way. Yeah,
Just show me the cash.
yeah.
Give me a check.
I mean, these guys, they were all great for what they did and
Sure.
what
They
the
had purpose.
accomplishments. Yeah, sure.
I guess without Edison, if we didn't sell the light bulb or we didn't feel that there was a market for this, then we wouldn't have light bulbs now. Maybe we would. They'd look weird. Maybe they all fluorescent colors. Who knows?
I was going to say, look weird. Have you not seen some of those high fancy Edison bulbs
Yeah,
now
the
these
original?
days?
Yeah.
Well, no,
they're
these
making a
fancy
comeback.
ones.
You mean
Yeah.
the retro ones?
Yeah, like
So what are they-
$15 bulbs.
So
Yeah.
they just for the hipsters, or do they serve
yeah.
purpose?
Oh,
Like
no.
Are they like the old incandescent bulbs?
Worse
Really?
because they're more expensive and they're not energy efficient.
No.
Yeah. So
They produce a lot of heat.
Don't understand.
it's because they look cool
Oh.
and they're retro and steampunk.
Can't you just use LED tech?
hipster. Nope.
Not the same. Oh, because yeah, CFL bulbs are weird looking. They're all curly, and then the LED ones, they're trying to make them look more like incandescent bulbs, but the LED inside, and they're awesome. They'll go on forever.
Yeah.
I put them in my kids' room because they don't bother to turn off the lights. It's like 90% savings.
Low heat, low power usage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. I don't have to yell at them every day. It saves my vocal cords for this beautiful podcast. It's good. Nathan, favorite part about Tesla? Everything? Does he inspire you for anything? Do you dream about him at night?
No, but
Not weird
Tesla,
ways, but you know
Tesla
what I mean.
coils,
I do, though.
ball lightning,
Fanboy,
those
sure.
are fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fanboy. I'm going to admit that.
Yeah? Well,
Yeah.
why not?
Well-
You tinker all the time with the pie and other things.
I do.
so
I mean, I majored in electrical, so of course, right? Yeah.
You like to try not to zap yourself?
Yeah.
What little hair you have stands
Changing
on your head.
electricals live, that's an art.
Well, yeah. You see the guys for the City Power do that stuff. Well, live-ish in
Yeah.
some respect. It's nuts. They're,
Oh, yeah.
The stuff they're touching out there, the huge cables going between the houses.
Oh, it's huge.
That's daring.
Yeah, it's a lot of volts. A lot
I
of
wouldn't
volts.
trust it.
Yeah.
A little off. I like the Niagara Falls project. Just go for it. Just, okay, we're going to do it. Convince somebody to have some cash and get 3 massive generators. Have fun. It's like a party. Chainsaw, riding lawnmower today's day. That's like what he did. He just played with all these toys. It's a
Well,
good deal.
that's how you have to do it, though.
Yeah, tinker and
You
have
take
fun.
them apart, you figure out how they work, and then you see if you can make things better. I mean,
Right.
it's just basic.
Are you going to make the pie better soon? Because you have to. If you're going to
I'm working.
fanboy over Tesla, he's done the transistors, he's done electric motors, he's done helped out with electricity, wireless technology. All these things are the pie. You have to make him right.
Okay, I'm going to do some pie stuff. Don't worry about it.
We got to have Patreon pictures of the arcade
All the arcade built.
machine.
Yeah,
Are you
I
going
know.
to get going on this?
Yeah.
Do I need to help you? Nathan is good with gluing stuff and tools, I think, right, Nathan?
Sure, I can glue things.
He supervises. All right. Maybe not.
All right, message understood.
Thanks. I'm just excited. You know, the pie and the
Well, you
retro.
should be.
You
I
love it.
know.
I like pushing
Okay.
buttons and arcade machines, and
Yeah.
it's sad because my mom, she only knows how to play Pac-Man. You got to evolve beyond that, really. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battletoads, Mario Kart and 64. You can do the whole gamut with the pie and the arcade machine. Paint it up, put a sticker on there, cat shirt or 2. It's good.
Okay.
Make us proud. Thanks, man. We'll auction it off for charity. CatsUnited.com or whatever it is. I don't know. Or PETA, whatever you want, Nathan.
PETA?
That one, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's okay.
What else should we be sorry for? Nothing today. We're Canadian, but we apologize all the time. Sorry for saying sorry. Head over to patreon.com/nerdy by nature. So excited. I'm sorry. Patreon.com/nerdy by nature. That's the way you can give us a few bucks back, get some rewards, have a good time, behind the scenes pictures, episodes early, shout outs for you being awesome, and monthly packages, and joining our episode right here with us at the table. It's a good time. Myself, Chris, Elijah, Nerdy by Nature, and on behalf of Tesla, hopefully we made you proud. And keep on inventing, please. See you later.
Zap.
Ooh, nice one. Well, like all good things, they must come to an end, my friends. Another show is in the books, and we had so much fun starting the weekend off right, just with you. Nerdy by Nature here with you, discovering the world around us, learning new things, and having a great conversation. Couldn't get to everything, though, in this episode, so please head over to letusgetnerdy.com, check out the show notes, the research, and all the extras. Just couldn't fit in today. While you're there, feel free to subscribe, Android or iOS. It's all good. If you want to say hi, leave a comment below the notes or click on Contact Us, whichever your heart desires. If you want to get crazy and social and right into it with us, please do. Head over to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, search up Let Us Get Nerdy, won't you? Hashtag, @mention us, say some cool stuff, or call us out. For Nerdy by Nature, thank you so much for listening. Take care.